Hello and welcome back. And today I got this wooden bloom box, and inside are a bunch of these cute little wooden flowers. So I'm going to open up the box and look at all the flowers and then start to make them. When I opened up the box, there were these little instructions that I'm going to need after I make all the flowers, and then each little flower kit almost, which came with the instructions and everything I need to make each flower. Then the stuff to make the box, and a bunch of these little leaves and stuff for after. I looked back at the instruction manual and I saw the sunflower, so I started on making the sunflower first. After I got the sunflower opened, I figured out that everything was in its proper colors. So I had brown for the center of the sunflower and yellow, which I'm making now, for the actual flower part of the sunflower, and then green for the leaves and the stem. And I was super happy about this because if you didn't see my last video, I made a mini DIY little bedroom, which is really similar to this, and I was thinking that this whole project was going to take me longer to do than that, but it actually didn't, and I was super happy, and I think it also was helpful because the colors of everything were already there and I didn't need to paint over it. After I finished off the sunflower, I got started on the next flower. And this one was a little bit more difficult because it was the first time that I had used these bendy pieces, which you can't see right now, but they are like these little pieces that the wood will make to kind of bend. If you look at the leaves at the top right over there, you can kind of see how they have little cuts in them almost, and that's so that they will bend. And that was a little bit difficult for me to figure out, and they are really easy to break. So that was kind of difficult, and they also had it on the flowers, and just putting the flowers in the little spots in general were difficult because it was hard to tell which one was supposed to go where, and also making sure that the yellow didn't break. But after I finished off that small flower, I kind of got the hang of it, and I started on the next bigger one. After I finished up that one, I started again on the exact same flower. And after I finished off that first one, I was like, oh, okay, I already know how it works. I already know how to put it together, and it was going to be really easy, but it actually wasn't, and I still struggled a little bit. And I actually ended up breaking the yellow bit, but it was okay because I was able to just turn the flower upside down, shake it off a little bit, made sure that all the petals were still there and were still staying, and they did. So I just kept on moving on, and I think all of the little flower petals sticking together and being so condensed, it really helped it stay. And yeah, that's how I finished off that one. Then I started on the next flower, and this one was probably the most difficult because of all of the little petals on it. You can see on the light purple and the dark purple all of the little flower petals, and it was really difficult to just put it all on. And I actually have these little pieces right here, and it told me how to put them on, but it was really difficult to figure out. So then I just decided to start putting them on however I wanted, however I thought looked best, and it turned out fine in the end, and it wasn't a big disaster. Then after I did that, I took out all of the little flower petals and then started putting them all on. And this took me a few minutes. It was really difficult, but not as difficult as I thought, and I think that was because I didn't sand every single piece down. But after I finished off that, put on the stem, and I was done. Then I got started on the roses, and these were a little bit difficult because they had the bendy pieces for the flower petals. And however I put on the top part at the very beginning, I messed it up and I didn't put it on properly because I ended up breaking the piece that connected the two pieces, but I was able to fix it on the next roses that I did. And I did break it a lot, but then wood glue helped and I was able to save it, and it looked good in the end because every single other flower and leaves in it kind of was able to help hide all of the mistakes that I made, and you can't even tell that I made any mistakes. So I finished up the rose. after I finished up that last row, I started on the second one. And this one was actually pretty good because I actually didn't break any of the flower petals because I was actually paying attention and I was actually making sure that I was putting them on properly and I wasn't pushing them too much. Because on the last one, I actually had a big flower petal and I was like, oh yeah, I won't break any of these because they're huge flower petals. How could I break them? But then I looked away, popped one out, and guess what? It broke. So I figured out to look while I actually pop out every single piece. And I think I only broke one little piece when I was doing that second flower bud. Then finishing it off with this cute little bow and then some little like leaves. I actually don't know what these are called, but they're little cute leaves to kind of be some filler for the rest of it. And there's this cute little sign and then these little leaves. And this wasn't actually too bad, but by the end of this, my hands were kind of hurting by pushing all the pieces. So I feel like this did take me a little bit longer because of that. And I don't know why, but I just love to sit down and do all of these in one sitting. So that's probably why my hands hurt too. But finished up that, and I made a few of them a little bit shorter because I actually broke a few pieces. And I thought they wouldn't look so good, so I made them a little bit shorter. Worked perfectly fine. And then to finish it all off, I got started on the box. And I was going to do these little filler leaves how the kit told me to do it, but I didn't like it because I thought I wouldn't have enough filler leaves, so I decided to just skip that, make that little paper box thing, and then I got started on the crate. And it was a little bit difficult for me to figure out at first, and I made the wrong decision to pop out every single piece at first, but then I just put them back where they were supposed to go, and I was able to put it together. And then I got started on putting all the little flowers in. And each of these little holes at the top, they are different at the bottom. So it was kind of able to make them at like an angle, but it was a little bit difficult to make sure that they like go in properly. And then I made a new angle so that you can see it a little bit better. And I just started to fill in little leaves everywhere where I thought it looked a little bit empty. And here it is. I think this was really cute. Only took me about 6 hours, so a lot better than I thought it would take. And I'm sorry if the audio quality is a little bad. I'm testing out a new mic, but I probably won't be using this again. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye!